Everyone. So I did not do a blog last week because I was on vacation and I didn't know how much time I would have to read. I'm unfortunately one of those people who likes to vacation and like do things like every single day, which can sometimes mean I get carried away. But I just have just like an average reading week, so good for my goals. But I wanted to start another blog this week. And because I have been reading so many like paperbacks, I am like a little behind on my my books on my Kindle that I've gotten out from the library. So this week I'm going to be focused mainly on those. And I did start The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb yesterday, which is basically it's the start of a trilogy about a boy who is born to the heir to the throne. And the king, or the would-be king, actually has to abdicate because of him, because of there's like tensions between his wife, who like can't have children, and then like this kid like resurfacing from before he had gotten married, but it's just like too tenuous. So he basically gets taken in by the captain of like this guy's guard, or like his main like manservant. And he, he's kind of like alone in like, this fort, and he has like an ability to bond like with animals. But he's currently basically the actual king notices, that he has like this great potential to serve them like diplomatically in places where like noble or royal blood is necessary, but also it's like too risky and they wouldn't want to actually risk like the full line. So anyways, I'm like, I don't know, 15 or 20% in. I love the writing so much. It's definitely like a slower paced story. Oh my gosh. It's definitely like a slower paced story, but her writing is just like very illustrative and I've just been really liking it. So yes, reading that. And then the second book that I want to read is The Nightingale by Kristen Hannah. And this one is basically like a historical novel, literary fiction, and it is basically the story of like two sisters during World War II. So they're kind of like on the home front. One of them is married to a soldier, and he leaves like right before France was invaded. And the second one is a sister who had like a brief romance, and then she basically joins like the resistance movement. But as a tale of two sisters, I'm excited to read it. And I had just also finished like a historical novel like this past week, so I'm definitely kind of like in the mood. So excited for that one. And then the third one that I'm considering the third one that I hope to read is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. And this one is like one of those, like fantasy stand-bys. And like the back of the novel like doesn't really tell you like that much about it, but basically I think it's the story of like the main character, like his life, like how he came to be. And I think it's kind of like a framed story where he is informing like a chronicler who's like taking down notes about like the story of his life. It seems like it's one of those things where he might be like a shady character and he's like telling like his side of the story. So it might be a lot of like this is a bad thing, but now that you know my side, like it's fine. Or can you see like why I did what I did? So anyways, that should be interesting. Red, White, and Royal Blue. And this one is a temporary romance, and it's about the first son in like some parallel like US universe. He's like the daughter or the son of the president, and kind of like a good like marketing optics strategy is that he's like friends with a few of the other like diplomats, but he has like an arch nemesis, so it is like an enemies to lovers trope. So because he's like photographed in like an altercation, they devise like a like forced proximity trope, like where they have to fake a friendship for like the press, and then it like turns into more. If I finish my other 3 books, maybe I will be able to at least start, but maybe finish this other one, which I assume is going to like kind of go pretty quick because these contemporary books just read so much faster. Excited for this list, and I'm happy that I actually got my video done on Monday. Lunch is almost over, so I won't have like too much time to read, but should hopefully get some, maybe a little bit more into the Assassin's Apprentice tonight. So anyways, I will catch up with you all later. Hey. Sadly, it is already Thursday morning. It's just been really busy here lately. On Monday, like Sabrina came over and we did a little filming for our next video, and then of course it meant like Tuesday I had to do like the editing for it and like get everything ready, so I didn't really have like too much time to read, and then we had dinner plans yesterday, so it's just been quite busy, and I embarrassingly have not had a lot of time to read, but I am about 3/4 done with the Assassin's Apprentice, and like so far I'm still liking it. I think prior to this I have seen like quite a few people who like DNF'd this book because of the fact that like nothing really happens, and even though, as I said, I definitely still like it, I can see like where that critique like comes from, because literally nothing does happen. It's literally just kind of like a story of like him growing up like as, you know, like the illegitimate child, like in this, I don't know, I mean, it's not a castle, but just like a post, I guess. There is like it's just a lot of setup. So, I mean, I feel like it is indicative of the rest of the series like being pretty good, because there's so much kind of like being built within this first book. But if I didn't like the writing so much, I would probably like be getting like pretty burnt out. So, I mean, like, because I like her style and because I do like the character as well. Fitz is the main character, which literally means son of, like LOL. So it's been going fine, but I should be able to finish this today and then start like my next book. So hopefully things will be progressing more nicely, but yeah, it's been a rough few days in terms of reading time. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get on track. And as soon as like the weekend comes, I have like way more time than I do like during the week. So anyways, nice to check in, and I'm gonna get back to reading just a little bit more before work, and see how it goes. Okay, bye. Hey everyone, it's Saturday morning. I did finish the Assassin's Apprentice, I think, on Thursday. It was pretty good. I think that the weirdest part about it, I feel like, because like the last time like I filmed, or the last video that I made, I was talking about how like nothing really happened. Well, it definitely like picked up at the end, and it was like the last like 100 pages were there was like so much going on that I had to like kind of go back even and like reread sections, because I feel like I was missing some stuff. So that was like kind of a surprise. I was like not expecting it, and all of a sudden it was like kind of crazy. I don't know, it was overall like pretty good, and I'm excited to like continue reading it. We're like invested, so that'll be good. And then I started The Nightingale, which was my next book, and I'm like a quarter of the way through it. I was reading a little bit this morning, and it's also slow. So I feel like that is going to be, it'll take me some time to get through, but we'll see how it goes. Hey, it is Saturday again, so 2 in 1 day. A big reading day today, and I did finish The Nightingale just now, and then I had to promptly go and like take off all my makeup because of the crying. It was pretty good. Like, it was The Notebook, where it was like I don't know, like pretty tame in the beginning, and then like everything just got like pretty bad like about like halfway through. So it definitely got like a lot darker and stuff. which is probably for the best, because I feel like in the beginning, like I almost had the impression of like, I don't know, it was like too like glamorizing of like the war in general. And like I feel like it was making it hard for me to get into, just like because of that aspect. Like the tone was like, I don't know, it just didn't seem right necessarily. But I mean, definitely remedied, because there was like quite a lot of tragedy in like the second half or so. But I mean, it was pretty good. It was my first like Kristen Hanna novel. And you know, like she has written like quite a few like notable books. So I would read her again, like after having read this. I would definitely need like I would need a little break in between, like going forward again. But overall, like I did enjoy it. And it was a cathartic finale. So anyways, my plans for the rest of the evening, since it is like nighttime now, is, I mean, I'm still just gonna keep plugging along. Originally I had been planning on starting The Name of the Wind next, but I think I am ready for like something like pretty quick. Maybe even like finish it like later tonight, because it is, I think it's only like almost 8 o'clock now. So I mean, I definitely have like quite a few hours of reading like left in me, and I think if I start the Red, White, and Royal Blue now, like I should be able to at least finish it by like tomorrow, and then be able to have started like Name of the Wind for like next week. So that's kind of like my goal. I am adjusting my course, but I think I'm still on track, and like I don't really have a ton of plans tomorrow either, so I think I should be able to like crank out quite a bit. All right, wish me luck. Hey everyone. So it's Sunday night. I very embarrassingly like stayed up way too late last night. I did finish like all of Red, White, and Royal Blue last night. I was reading until like after 2 a.m. maybe. The things you do as an adult, right? It was like so cute. It kind of like jumped right in, which I feel like was good. And I was in like the perfect mood for it, because I had just like been kind of drained, and then I like hopped into this like much lighter romance, which was definitely set like it was definitely written from like an escapist point of view about like a world where like, you know, things could just be like kind of accepted, the world we all want to live in, right? And I did have like an idea about what it would be about like going into it, which was the first son of the first like female president of the United States. And I think it was set like around like 2020. So if after like Obama, there had been like elected like the first female president instead, who like came from like a blended like mixed race family. So she had like 2 kids who were like Mexican heritage, which was like really cool. And so the first son is like desirous of a life in politics, and he's like just graduating from college at like the start. So he had been like 17 or 18 like when his mom became president, and then since then he's been kind of like at like George Washington University, and you know, like pursuing a career like in government, helping out like his mom on like the campaign and like other senators and stuff. And his dad had also been like in politics as well, so he's kind of like following along in the family footsteps. And he has like this like altercation essentially with the like the Prince of England, so the Prince of England. And he has always had this like tension with him. He's like, oh, he's like so stuck up and like annoying. You know, like I don't understand like why everyone likes him. Like he seems obnoxious and he has like no personality, like blah, blah, blah. And it seems like he kind of hates him like out of like nowhere. So it has that whole like enemies to lovers type situation. They have this fight, they like knock over this like very expensive cake at like a wedding, and it turns into this whole like huge deal, and the 2 like PR specialists decide to concoct like some kind of like fake friendship to kind of like cover everything up and be like, oh, like things are just getting out of hand like between these two people, like being forced to hang out together. Then they like actually realize that, you know, like they're actually, you know, Prince Henry is actually kind of like a fun person, and like no one actually knows he has this like whole front. It reminds me of like The Crown, where like I don't know, you kind of like get into the head of like, or the what's to be expected of the monarchy, which is essentially for them to just be like a figurehead and like not an actual person. So I feel like I was thinking a lot about like that series, like while I was like reading this, and about I don't know, like how Henry was like struggling with like not being able to express himself. The main crux of the problem like being eventually that like he is gay and he does not feel like his family and like the monarchy in general, like the institution of it, will allow him to like be himself. And of course, it turns into like an illicit romantic affair that they're like, you know, hiding everything. And like this book was like a little spicy, which like I was expecting it to be, because I had heard that feedback already. But it was like it hopped right in, and it was pretty good. And it was just like nice, pleasurable read, and clearly very quick. I don't know if I would recommend staying up until 2 a.m. to finish it, but also I didn't have to work today, so it was fine. So anyways, so yeah, I finished that last night, and then I did not film anything last night, clearly, because it was like 2:30 a.m. and I look like a mess. But then I didn't have like a ton of time like this morning, but I have been reading for like the past, I don't know, a couple of hours or so, and I have started The Name of the Wind now. So I am excited to be finally like getting started in this book. I've actually like gotten it like from the library like a couple of times, and because it's like kind of long, like over like 600 pages or so, I keep getting like intimidated and like running out of time. So I keep like saving it to the end of my list, and then it gets sent back like before I have time to like start it, because I'm kind of like scrambling to keep up. So this is probably like the third time I've gotten out of the library, and I'm committing to it. I'm going to finish it. I have heard good things, like both obviously from like the internet book sphere, and then also like from people that I know personally have read. So I'm excited to continue. And I think at this point I'm only like 10% in or something, and it's starting kind of slow, because it is it's kind of like a framed story, so him telling like a chronicler or whatever, like his side of the story, because it seems like he has a reputation that precedes him, and it seems to be like a little questionable. Like, you know, he has like some people who think he's a hero, some people who think he's a villain, and he's like, well, if you want the real story, I will tell it to you. It'll take 3 days, and if you leave, you miss your opportunity. And of course, like the scribe is like, yes, I will immediately. So, I mean, he's just starting like kind of telling the story now. So, I'm barely into it, but hopefully I will get, I don't know, at least like halfway tonight. I don't have like any other plans aside from like reading. So, I am kind of snuggling in, and I'm preparing for that. But yeah, I think this will probably be like the last little video of the collection. So it was nice bringing you along on my journey this week. And yeah, we'll see what happens next week as I continue this. And I think finally hit some books that are that I bought recently, which will be kind of fun. All right. Okay. Bye, everyone.